Michael Wilson has won the gratitude, respect, and friendship of countless individuals in every chapter of his incredibly distinguished career, from Parliament Hill to Capitol Hill, from Bay Street to Wall Street to the City of London and well beyond, and in every boardroom, committee room, and community center where he has spoken up for the cause of mental health. Likewise, here at the University of Toronto, Chancellor Wilson has built a tremendous legacy of goodwill as he comes to the end of his 6-year term. Michael, at this, your very last convocation ceremony in your role as Chancellor, please allow us to recognize your outstanding service to the University of Toronto.
I chose this ceremony quite deliberately for my final convocation as Chancellor. I graduated from the University of Toronto Commerce course, as you are now doing. Mine was back in 1959. But looking out at you today, I can see myself. But I have to be straight with you. I have no idea what my convocation speaker said, because I skipped my convocation ceremony. My education as a commerce grad had prepared me well for a quick launch to my career in finance, and I was eager to get started on my job in London, England. I didn't yet realize that celebrating milestones as you are today can be very meaningful. And I'm glad you're wiser than I was, because I have something important to tell you. The world needs you. Rotman Commerce sets out its mission very clearly, and let me quote here. Rotman Commerce seeks to inspire and empower our students and alumni to become innovative leaders and engaged citizens who contribute to the success of organizations and the betterment of communities in Canada and abroad. Let me repeat, the success of organizations and the betterment of communities. I find this language striking, as too often in our modern world, business is stereotyped as being just about the money. It's profits versus people, we're told. But that's wrong. Successful business ventures are very important to our socio-economic fabric, and you have been given the tools to make an enormous contribution. Moreover, businesses and business people are part of our communities and are more effective when they are active locally and aware of the challenges and aspirations of those working around them. Understanding and insight come not from isolating ourselves and our businesses, but from engaging the broadest array of ideas and people. It's fundamentally a partnership for the betterment of both partners, as the Rotman Commerce mission has said. But there's more. What does it mean to be an engaged citizen? Way back in grade 8, my school was assembled to hear a guest speaker who had been quite involved in the launch in Toronto of what is now known as the United Way. And what a surprise to me to see that that speaker was my father. He was also one of the founders of what is now the Heart and Stroke Foundation. My mother was also involved in community organizations such as the CNIB and the Red Cross and our church. All this to say that I was exposed to the importance of community service, of being an engaged citizen from an early age. So the importance of service goes back a long way within this old body. And it's led to a series of very interesting activities in my community, but also, as you've heard, as service as a member of the federal government in Canada. Today, there are many major global issues which as individuals we may worry about and are frustrated that we're not able to do much about. Intractable problems such as those posed by North Korea, ISIS, and recent and incredibly complex files such as relationships with China, and now even our neighbor and top trading partner, the United States. But we can have an impact on building strong communities here at home. Our communities are the abiding strength of our country and our institutions. And this is where our volunteer service can have its greatest and most immediate impact. Whether it's in a service club, a hospital, children's sports, charitable organizations, helping those in need, there are many ways of giving back to our communities, strengthening them as well as ourselves. It's also a way of gratefully acknowledging the benefits of the good education which you have received here at the University of Toronto. I encourage you to find a cause that you can identify with. I am confident that as your involvement grows, you will become quite passionate and keen to help it succeed. My most important volunteer work, some say it's probably more important than any of the work that I did in Parliament, has been in the mental health field. I had my first exposure to this as a member of Parliament. Constituents and colleagues would confide in me, sharing mental illness challenges that were there in their families. And through them, I began to understand the impact of mental illness in a very personal way. Prior to politics, I had volunteered for the Canadian Cancer Society. And at that time in Ontario, I was one of 45,000 people volunteering for that great organization. But I knew no one who was a volunteer in the mental illness field. Mental illness then was a hidden subject that no one talked about. So I decided that it is where I should volunteer and hopefully make a difference. Ironically, within 2 years, our son became quite ill with a form of depression, and ultimately this, compounded by the burden of stigma, the very heavy burden of stigma surrounding mental illness, led him to take his own life. I saw the impact of stigma on Cameron, as well as in my volunteer work and as a member of Parliament. And I knew that I had to speak out about it. The reaction was something that I did not anticipate. It was like a door waiting to be pushed open. People would then come to me in confidence and share their own stories. I was asked to make speeches and to become directly involved in some mental health organizations, such as the Centre for Addiction Mental Health here in Toronto. And I'm now the chair of the Mental Health Commission in Canada, so I'm still very involved in this field. But more to say that my volunteer work has been a profoundly important part of my life, especially in recent years. I sometimes wonder what a void there would be in my life without it, and I continue to benefit as a person from this. But apart from my personal growth and satisfaction, I know that our communities and our country would not be as strong without the efforts of millions of Canadians providing volunteer services in so many ways. And closer to home, here at the University of Toronto, we enjoy a very high standard in the world today, top 20. This ranking would simply not be possible without the support of literally hundreds of volunteers every year, helping us as student mentors, serving on various committees, organizing and running events, and so on. So this is what I'm asking of you, and I'm sure many of you are already active volunteers, but please do not give up on it. Our world needs you. So let me close by simply thanking you for the privilege of speaking to you today, one final time as your Chancellor. Thanking you for the esteem that you've brought to our university and each other, and thanking you for everything that you have done, and I'm sure will continue to do for your communities, our institutions, and our country. You have an exciting career ahead of you, but this career can be greatly advanced and be more fulfilling to you if it includes volunteer service in your community. So congratulations, class of 2018. You have a great life ahead of you. Thank you.